I'm John, the owner of Cabinet Painting Vancouver. The reason we're making this video is because we unfortunately get calls all the time from frustrated homeowners who've hired the wrong person to refinish their project and now need our help. It goes something like this. Hey there, I'm not sure if you can help. I hired a painter to respray my cabinets and they made a huge mess and it needs to be redone. Can you help? And the truth is, once someone has improperly refinished cabinets, it's a massive undertaking to remove the work that was done and redo it properly. It's a very costly mistake and might even require ordering completely new doors to start fresh. At the end of the day, we would much rather see a client work with one of our reputable competitors and have an awesome experience than get burned by someone who isn't qualified to do the work. So that's why we're making a series of videos to help better educate people on how to choose the right person for the job. Because better educated people can make more informed decisions and find the right company to suit their budget and needs. So in the case of the client that you're about to meet, she took her best friend's recommendation of an extended family member who could supposedly refinish their cabinets. They agreed on a contract price of about $6,500, which for the record was about $1,000 less than we would have charged had she reached out to us first. There were some big red flags right away as soon as the cabinet boxes were sprayed. The finish was nothing like what was promised, and when confronted, the refinisher held her doors hostage and dragged the project on for months until finally accepting about half of the original contract amount and returning her doors. As a result of this stressful ordeal, she and her friend no longer talk, and her husband was giving her grief for trying to save the cabinets in the first place. She said the whole ordeal was a nightmare, even though she knew she was doing the right thing by trying to salvage her cabinets. At the end of the day, the total cost to have her cabinets butchered and then saved was much more than she would have paid a professional to do it right the first time. So I asked her if she would be kind enough to share her story because we honestly never want to have to hear a story like this again.
The process before I found you guys was a friend's recommendation. She's actually quite a close friend of mine, so I take her references quite priority. So when she told me about it, I was like, okay. She's like, oh no, it's my brother-in-law. I met with him. He was great, really nice, personable. We went through what I wanted, the color, thinking, okay, so I've got, my kitchen is going to be ready. This is the timeline. I chose my colors. I went through everything. I told him specifically I needed this done this timeline. He's like, yes, I'll make it happen. Days later, weeks later, months later, I had no kitchen. And then I came in, it looked okay at first, it was sprayed. I came in one day and it wasn't sprayed anymore. It started becoming roll marks, and I was like, and he was like, oh no, they'll blend. I'm like, are you sure? Because we talked about spraying, and he's like, yeah, I sprayed the outside boxes. And I'm like, yeah, this doesn't look like sprayed. And he's like, no, you're looking at it wrong. And I'm like, I don't think so. 3 months later, I finally got a kitchen back-ish to not a kitchen. It looked like a weekend job. Originally, the plan was supposed to be about 2.5 weeks, which, that would have fit my timeline. Yeah. But when it was completed, it was 3 months later. And it was completed to the point where I was lost for words, and I was just really frustrated and I was upset. Then we found you guys. Mind you, I was kind of scared. This was a big tackle, so I was kind of scared, and I did do a lot of research this time. Like, I really did research this time, and it came down to a few. And then when I found you guys, the consultation helped a lot. You did have reviews, but again, sometimes reviews can be skewed. So I think in the end, when I spoke with you and we really talked about it, and you came to and took a look at my supposedly professionally finished kitchen, and you kind of really made me understand the process a little bit better. Basically, I had to start from scratch. So it was stress because when, the project started, everything was supposed to be complete in summer. We were supposed to enjoy the remaining, late summer, fall. But it didn't happen until Christmas. Yes, I would definitely pay for the higher quote. But then the huge thing is not only about friendships and references. I think speaking to and getting a proper consultation, getting references, proper references where you can actually see finished work, it is big. And I think also a company whose their main thing is cabinetry, right? Like, you can get someone who says that they do cabinetry, but then they're like, oh, I can do this and I can do that. But you know what? When it comes to the kitchen, stick with the experts, stick with what they are known for. When I met with Natalia, when she came, when we discussed everything to really kind of let me know that they are the right people to use, they came to remove one of my supposedly finished doors, and they refinished it for me so that I could actually physically see what I'm gonna get. And that also helps with choosing the right company, and choosing you guys was, you came, you took a look, you took my door, you showed me what I'm gonna really get versus what I'm supposed to get. And I think that's really important for a lot of owners who have had botched jobs. It's literally a botched job. Beautifully refinished of a finished job was sitting against all the ugly ones that were supposed to be finished. And it stood out. And when my kids can come into the kitchen and be like, oh my God, Mom, did you replace a brand new door? And then I would look and be like a little bit dumbfounded and feel good and bad at the same time, right? So I don't even know what to say. Like, I was just kind of like, oh my God, I'm so happy with the kitchen, but I need to cook, but I don't want to cook because I just want to sit and stare at it. It was a very long process. For any advice for anyone doing reno, saving cabinetry is huge for the environment. This is something I do care about, and having it refinished is a very scary process. But what I can recommend is do your research, ask for references, see physical references, and then look at the price. And then you're gonna get what you want. And in the end, I think that's more important than, doing anything else with someone that tells me that they're gonna do your cabinetry right. I can't stress about how much we had to mentally go through. So how I found you guys, I did Google. Google is my new best friend. And it took a while because when you do a Google search, there's a lot. And some were, equivalent, but then I looked at it, I was like, oh, but they kind of, don't really tell me what the process was. Like where your website, it actually lists what you're gonna do. And basically it is exactly what happened. So I like that step-by-step detail that told me, okay, you're gonna come in for the consultation, you're gonna look through it. And then when I looked at some of the reviews, and where you had one of the videos where actually showed someone's cabinetry, it was a consultation afterwards that really helped solidify why I went with you guys. And I think that understanding of, I had a botched job, you understood my pain, my frustration, and you really kind of laid it out there. It's like, okay, this is it. Natalia kind of told me straight up, our warranty. And that was huge for me, right? Like, I could call you guys back, if a door gets damaged, I just have to, there'll be a fee after the warranty's done, but you come back and just grab the door and redo it. So that was also really important to me. The difference with the first contractor and you guys was timelines, deadlines, and also communication. That was huge. As a mother, the kitchen is basically our domain, right? Everything else belongs to the rest of the family, but the kitchen is where I spend pretty much, besides sleeping, most of my time. And I would definitely recommend you guys, and I will show physical pictures, and I would share it in videos with friends and family so they can really see. It's not just, oh, I'm gonna, we did the recommendation thing. It's a bit scary, right? You can't just take, just words now. So I would actually just be like, you can come look at my kitchen, physically if you want to, but I can send you pictures and stuff. So I would definitely recommend you guys on top of real, physical references as well.